For young people just starting out in life, and for their families, paying for college is a very big deal. Picking the right school is one thing, and paying for it is another. UCLA recently announced it's raising its tuition 5% a year over the next 5 years. So maybe that puts UCLA out of your reach. Then again, maybe it doesn't.
One of the first things people often look at is tuition. And tuition sticker prices, as you note, are rarely the final word on what a person pays for college.
That's Abigail Seldin, who's Vice President of Innovation for ECMC and the founder of College Abacus, which is a nifty online tool that can help you find the net cost, exactly what you can expect to pay for a college education. I'm Mark Huffman with Moneywatch Radio, and today we're going to find out more about this tool and how it works. It starts with tuition. That's the sticker price. But just like car dealers, colleges don't expect their students to pay that. Why? Because it's a heck of a lot of money, for one thing. So that's why there are packages and packages of financial aid. Grants, scholarships, low-cost loans. To get some of that financial aid, which is usually handed out based on need, students fill out federal student aid applications, known in education jargon as FAFSA forms. Based on the information you submit in that form, the government issues you an estimated amount you can expect to pay, an estimated family contribution, called the EFC. The EFC is supposed to be a net amount, what you'll pay after you subtract all the student aid you're likely to receive.
It's what the number from the FAFSA is labeled, but most families don't pay that number. And so it's very confusing for consumers who see the EFC result and say, great, that's the number. Or in many cases say, shoot, that's the number.
So your number, the cost of attending a year of college, may be higher or lower than your EFC. Now here's where it gets a little confusing. Your actual cost, your real EFC, is going to differ based on the schools where you apply. That's because
every school uses its own formula to allocate financial aid, and those net prices, individualized net prices, are often lower, much lower than a family's government-calculated EFC.
And here's where it gets a little crazy. The schools you might expect to be cheap might not be, and a school you might think is way out of your league just might be affordable. Abigail uses a popular movie to try and explain it.
In the last installment of the Twilight saga, there's a plot point about Bella Swan trying to apply for the University of Alaska Southeast, a state school, because she thinks it's going to be less expensive than Dartmouth, where her boyfriend wants her to go. And so about a year ago, I started playing with fictional characters in College Abacus. And so I worked up a profile for Bella Swan, looking up what her father probably made as a sheriff in a small town, and her mother is a kindergarten teacher, and what their assets would have been, and compared University of Alaska Southeast to Dartmouth. And Dartmouth was more than $10,000 less expensive than University of Alaska Southeast, even though the sticker prices were quite different, and University of Alaska Southeast at first glance looked like the less expensive school.
And you wouldn't know any of this unless you went to both schools' websites, found their net cost calculators, entered all of your history and background information, and ran the numbers. So Abigail found an easier way to do that. She created an app called College Abacus.
College Abacus is the kayak.com of net price calculators. It's a free online tool that allows you to calculate and compare your bottom line costs across 4,000 colleges and universities, all at one time, all in one place, in a few minutes.
And you only have to enter your information once, like you would if you were trying to book a flight using kayak.com. And it's important to use this tool not after you've already decided on a couple of schools, but when you first start shopping.
What we try to do with College Abacus is to empower consumers to access that information before they settle a final college application list, so that they can so that way they can have a list of schools for which the individual net prices will be affordable to them.
Again, College Abacus is a free app, and you can find it at collegeabacus.org. And we'll leave you with this. Knowing the difference between early decision and early action when you apply at a school could save you some money. An early action application is non-binding, and according to Abigail, that's the way to go. Early decision is binding. If the school accepts you, you have to go, and you're stuck with whatever aid package they offer. That's it for now, but join us next time for more money-saving tips on Moneywatch Radio.